What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Hudson Moto, and we're going to be working on this 2025 Honda Grom SP. Let's get into it. So about 3 months ago, I purchased this 2025 Honda Grom. Here it is. This is the SP version. Now they have 3 versions of this. They have the SP, which has no ABS, but this underbody fairing here. The other version is just ABS with no underbody. And the basic version is no ABS, no belly pan, in the different color. So I got the black. I know they come red, white, and blue. I don't know what certain models come in certain colors, but I know the black came with the SP, so that's what I got. Also, about a month back, I put on these bar end mirrors. Also a lever here, these levers, and foot pegs. So if you want to check out that video, I'll link it below. I did get those parts off Amazon. It's a quick install, nothing too crazy. But today we're going to keep up with the theme of protecting the Honda Grom. But these bar end mirrors, this is a bar end here, so if I tip the bike over, this will hit first and hopefully save the bars. So what I got was the TST Industries axle sliders and their TST Industries chain adjuster with the spools. And these parts will definitely protect your bike if you go down in a crash. Now, knock on wood, hopefully I don't go down ever on the bike or any bike, but you do ride a motorcycle, it's bound to happen. So this will protect some of your investment. Now, I did not purchase the frame sliders yet. They do have a kit for a frame slider. That'll be coming in a later video. And the reason why I didn't purchase that yet was just because I'm on a budget. You know, most of these parts aren't expensive, but the frame slider is a high ticket priced item. Meaning it was about $180, which, yes, it's not that much compared to parts on like this Harley here, but you have to pick and choose your battles sometimes, and sometimes budget dictates what you can buy and what you can't. So here we are. If you go to their site, these aren't that bad in price. I think these are $60 for a pair, and this is about, I think, $120. So not too much I spent, but it is what it is. So I got the bike raised up on here on the rear stand here. I put a little box under here just to keep the wheel in place. What we're going to do is basically unbolt the axle. This is a 19, that's a 14. We're going to take their chain adjusters out. This actually looks newer than the last generation. They must have upgraded these and realized, hey, we should really use some quality parts on this. But these are coming out regardless. So let's take some of this stuff off. So what I'm going to have to do, because this is really tight on here, the chain is actually really tight, I'm going to just adjust this to give it a little looser tension so I can get this axle out. You can feel it when I try to pull, it's really stuck on it still, so let me just loosen the chain a little bit. There we go, the chain is loose now. There's your axle. So we're going to take one of these covers for the TST Industries, slide it into this like this. This chain adjuster comes out. But first, let's line up this chain adjuster with the new ones, so at least I'm in a ballpark area to tighten the chain. Then we're going to do the same on the other side here. So use a nice soft mallet to hit this in. It's bottomed out now. I'm going to take a 6mm and tighten this here. Okay. I'm going to take basically rinse and repeating on the other side here. Take basically the axle, put it in the frame, the old one's in the frame here, line it up, and just get a ballpark estimate on where this should be sitting. So it looks like this is pushed forward a little bit, so I have to pull this back on this side, and it was the same thing on that side. So right now, before I put the axle in, I'm going to line up these notches here to a starting point, and then put the axle in and see where the chain's at. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that piece. So these two pieces should be relatively lined up, the new chain adjusters. So now, we're just trying to finagle the axle through. So you got this brake, a piece where it holds the brake. You got to get it through the wheel. So I'm going to line this up. Alright, so we're almost done. What we gotta do is, gotta get the torque wrench. So manual says it should be 40 foot-pounds. So I'm going to set this up 40 foot-pounds, and then I'm actually use a regular ratchet to get it somewhat tight, and then finish it off with this. I don't like using this just to put bolts on because it's just big and cumbersome, but a lot of people say don't use your torque wrenches to just put basic stuff on. I don't know why, but for me it's just very cumbersome. Covers on. These covers are like polyurethane, feels like, pretty thick. And then the spools here. So the spools, they recommend you just put 18 foot-pounds of torque to tighten this on. And this one is not that much. It's a 15 mil right here. Just tighten it, it's gonna tighten it. 15 mil. All right, there you go. All right, so the rear is done. Got the new spools on here with a chain adjuster and the axle sliders. Same thing on here. Chain looks good. Not tight, but tight enough. So let's tackle the front now. So there you have it, guys. We put the axle sliders, we put some spools on here with a nice red accent, TST Industries. The front one wasn't too bad. It's just suspending the wheel a little bit to get it off the ground so I could pull the axle out. I used the floor jack here for a car, and then put a box under here just to hold it steady, and I basically untightened it and suspended it a little more so I could get the axle out, put these on real quick, and put it back down and tighten it. So these will somewhat protect the bike if you go down. You know, saves maybe the fork here, the brake stuff. Like I said, I'm going to be getting the frame slider, but that'll be coming in a later video. But yeah, this was a simple, easy, for me, for someone who really doesn't do this kind of stuff. It took me about 45 minutes just to get, you know, double checking, making sure everything's okay. So one thing I kind of don't like about the axle sliders, and it's not the fact that it won't protect it, it's just for the fact that if you try to adjust your chain, you really can't see the notches inside here. So basically you have to unscrew this cap, loosen the bolt a little bit so you could pull this just a bit to see how many lines you have in there. And the same thing on the other side. That's kind of annoying to adjust the chain, to have to do all that, but this will give me peace of mind. If I go down, at least some of the bike is being saved. Scraping down the road and have to replace a lot of other things. But the axle sliders are good, but the biggest thing, later on we're going to get the frame slider. That will definitely protect everything. But for now, we'll just put those things on. Like I said, I'm on a budget with this bike. I don't want to go too crazy, but you definitely want to protect your investment. So if you like today's video, guys, please hit that like button. Also, if you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you do subscribe, hit that bell notification. And every time I upload something to go to YouTube, will let you know. So let's take it out for a ride now. And I'm not going to test it out. I'm not going to drop it. So I'll come maybe a later video when I have the frame slider. We'll see if it goes down. Let's see what's hitting and contacting the floor. But anyway, see you in the next one. Peace out.